नमस्कार। श्री Ramakrishna Kathamrita. तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदादतं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः। श्री Ramakrishna Kathamrita प्रथम भाग प्रथम खंडो अष्टम परिच्छेद. We are starting the 8th chapter. And Sri M starts the 8th chapter with the shloka as usual. श्रुति विप्रतिपन्ना ते यदा स्थास्यति निश्चला समाधावचला बुद्धिः तदा योगमवाप्स्यसि. This is the 53rd shloka from the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The second chapter is Sankhya Yoga. This is when Sri Ramakrishna, from the second shloka of this adhyaya, second adhyaya, Sri Krishna has spoken up for the first time after Arjuna was badly despondent, having got to know that he is going to fight his own brothers, he is going to fight his own near and dear ones, although they were evil. And Sri Arjuna had reached a stage, he had such stage of despondency to such an extent that the mighty bow in his hand, the Gandiv, it had fallen. And like his mighty bow, Arjuna himself had just sunk on the floor of the chariot. And that's when Sri Krishna, with the second shlok of this chapter, Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga is yoga of knowledge. And Sri Krishna took it up to blast Arjuna, to reprimand him with stern and strong words. Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupasthitam anaryajyushtam aswaryam akirti karam Arjuna. Oh Arjuna, from where you have got this weakness, from this dejection, despondency, from where you have started acting like non-Aryan. Non-Aryan is, you are not a warrior, you are a strong warrior, but you are acting contrary. You are acting like a meek and weak. From where you have got all this dejection? You are being disgraced by the way you are behaving. Oh Arjuna, this is disgraceful to you. Get up now. So that's how Sri Krishna has started the second chapter, and all these words of Sri Krishna. And now he is telling Arjuna that when your intellect, Shruti Vipratipannaye, Shruti Vipratipannate, Yada Sthasyati Nischala, Shruti Vipratipanna, having heard that whatever you have heard and you have got perplexed, you have got confused, you have tossed about. Yada sthasyati nischala, when you shall stand nischala, immovable, when you will become firm. Samadhava chala buddhi. Samadhav is in the self. Achala, again, firm, steady. Buddhi, your intellect. Tada, then yogam avapsyasi, then you shall attain to yoga. So Sri Krishna says to Arjuna, when your intellect, tossed about by conflict of opinions, has been poised so far, Arjuna's intellect was not poised, it was dwindling. He had got into despondency. And Sri Krishna tells him, when your intellect tossed about by the conflict of opinions, whether to fight or not fight, to be or not to be, when that kind of conflict of opinions has become poised and firmly fixed in equilibrium, when you get into a steady state of mind, not this unbalanced, then you will attain the yoga. So Sri Krishna says him that first you get into a balance, you get into a poise. That will be the state of reaching yoga. By hearing so many conflicting things, your mind is not poised now. It is tossed, it is confused. So first get the real knowledge and then start your work. And Swami Chidbhavanandaji has quoted Sri Ramakrishna's teaching pertaining to this slok. He has quoted Sri Ramakrishna as first attain godhood, then pursue the worldly things. Do not proceed in the reverse order. If you enter the life in the world after spiritual enlightenment, you will not have anxieties of the mind. Like the anxieties of the mind Sri Arjuna is having. I will not fight, they are my brothers. So, Swami Chidbhavanandaji has quoted this teaching of Sri Ramakrishna. First attain godhood, then enter the world. Hasn't Sri Ramakrishna told us? Hasn't he taught us? First apply your hands with the oil of devotion to the lotus feet of the Lord and then take up the task of cutting the jackfruit. Not otherwise. Not first start cutting the jackfruit, get your hands stuck with that sap or juice of the jackfruit and then saying, how will I cut? This was the condition of Sri M in the 7th chapter. Having heard that we should mix with good and bad people, we should mix with good people, but we should shun the bad people. We should stay away from that people. Then Sri M had this. His mind had tossed up like Arjuna's mind. What to do? Should we keep quiet and tolerate all the harm that the bad people are going to incur on us, or the harm that bad people are going to create for us, or they are harming us? Should we just sit quiet and tolerate? And Thakur had given the answer. Like Sri Krishna has given the answer in the Bhagavad Gita. Sri Ramakrishna has answered these doubts of Sri M in Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita. So that is that much for the introduction and the introductory shloka of the 8th chapter. So first attain God, then get into the worldly life. First have knowledge, then your delusion, your confusion, your tossing up of the ideas in your mind will go away, and then you will attain the yoga. Then you enter the world. So now we start reading from the Ashtam Pariched. Sri M is writing, Shobha Bhongo Hoilo, Bhoktera Edik Odik Paishari Koritechen, মাস্টারও পঞ্চবটি ইত্যাদি স্থানে বেড়াইতেছেন। বেলা অন্দাজে 5টা। কি এতক্ষণ পরে তিনি শ্রী রামকৃষ্ণের ঘরের দিকে আসিয়া দেখিলেন, ঘরের উত্তর দিকে ছোট বারান্দার মধ্যে অদ্ভুত ব্যাপার হইতেছে। What is that অদ্ভুত ব্যাপার? শ্রী রামকৃষ্ণ স্থির হইয়া দাঁড়াইয়া রহিয়াছেন। নরেন্দ্র গান করিতেছেন। দুই চারি জন ভক্ত দাঁড়াইয়া আছেন। মাস্টার আসিয়া গান শুনিতেছেন। গান শুনিয়া আকৃষ্ট হইয়া রহিলেন। ঠাকুরের গান ছাড়া এমন মধুর গান তিনি কখন কোথাও শুনেন নাই। হঠাৎ ঠাকুরের দিকে দৃষ্টিপাত করিয়া অবাক হইয়া রহিলেন। ঠাকুর দাঁড়াইয়া নিস্পন্দ, চক্ষের পাতা পড়িতেছে না। নিঃশ্বাস প্রশ্বাস বহিছে কি না বহিছে। জিজ্ঞাসা করাতে একজন ভক্ত বলিলেন, এর নাম সমাধি। মাস্টার এরূপ কখনো দেখেন নয়, শুনেন নয়। অবাক হইয়া তিনি ভাবিতেছেন, ভগবানকে চিন্তা করিয়া মানুষ কি কি এত বাহ্য জ্ঞান শূন্য হয়? না জানি কতদূর বিশ্বাস ভক্তি থাকিলে এরূপ হয়। So, meeting has ended. All the devotees that Sri Thakur was telling the devotees about the greatness of Narendra, Swami Vivekananda, his characteristics of being ever free soul, like a meek child in front of father, but a very naughty boy when playing on the ground. So these are the type the ever free souls are. They are very disciplined. They are very obedient in front of their father. But that doesn't mean that they are rude outside. No. They know how to behave where in front of father, with friends, with unknown people. How they know everything. And these type of people, the ever free souls, they never get attracted towards Kamini Kanchon. Just as they are growing up in life, they turn their direction of walk from worldly things to Godward. They are not attracted by the lust and greed. It is not for them. They are much beyond that. And then Thakur had talked about Homa bird. The egg falls down in the air, high up only the egg breaks, the young one comes out, and the moment the young one realizes it is going to hit the ground, like the fish, when they see the net coming, they run away. Those are the ever free souls, and Naren is one of them. And then casually, Sri Ramakrishna has asked M that how is reasoning? Do you have any books on reasoning in English? And M has started telling Sri Ramakrishna. First of all, he is confused how to talk about all these things in front of Sri Ramakrishna. Then slowly M starts telling about the logic part. How from specific to general, from general to specific. He has given the examples of crow, black crow here, black crow there, so all the crows are black. This man has 32 teeth, that man has 32 teeth, so all men have 32 teeth. So all these kind of examples Sri M has started giving. But Sri Ramakrishna is not into this realm, having spoken about his beloved child, his most dearmost disciple, Narendra. Thakur's mind has got elevated and he has entered the different realm. M is talking. The words are reaching his ears, but he is not in this world. He is far above. And in that state, he has not just heard. And that's where the topic ended. Sri M kept quiet and then the meeting dispersed. Shobha bhango hoilo. This is the start now. Bhaktera edik odik paishari করিতেছেন. All the devotees, they also got scattered. Somebody going here, somebody going there, somebody going to Kali temple, somebody going to Radha Gobindo temple. Likewise, M also, he got up. He went to Panchavati. Panchavati, where Sri Ramakrishna had spent 12 years of his sadhaka life, the life doing austerities, so hard austerities. So M went towards Panchavati. It was around 5 o'clock in the evening. And then after some time, Uh, M looked at Sri Ramakrishna's room as he was strolling, and he had a wonderful sight. It was just an unbelievable sight that Sri M had, and Sri M couldn't stop himself. He started coming towards Thakur's room from Panchavati. From long, far away, he has seen. And what he had seen as he started coming towards Thakur's room, Thakur standing still in the northern veranda of his room. Visualize the northern veranda of his room facing Nahabat, our Ma's dwelling place. Thakur is standing there, and Narendra is singing a hymn, singing a song. A few devotees are also standing around. So let us Sri Ramakrishna sthir hoiya daraya royachen. Very steady, still Thakur is standing. Narendra গান করিতেছেন, দুচারি জন ভক্ত দাঁড়াইয়া আছেন. A few devotees also standing nearby, most devotedly. Master আসিয়া গান শুনিতেছেন. So, Master also, he is very much charmed to look at all this. And he hears the song that Narendra is singing. গান শুনিয়া আকৃষ্ট হইয়া রহিলেন. He was so much attracted to that song that Naren was singing. ঠাকুরের গান ছাড়া এমন মধুর গান তিনি কখন কোথাও শুনেন নাই. Apart from listening to Thakur's song that other day we had seen, call your mother with great yearning. How can Mother Shama stay away from you? We had heard that song. Dak dekhi mon dakar mote. He had seen that song, and yesterday also he had heard Thakur's song, which was that Ami Durga Durga Bole. Even if I die with the name of chanting the name of my beloved mother Durga Durga at the time of my death. These two songs Sri M had heard, and this he heard now Naren singing, and he said he thought that he had never heard such a sweet voice, such a sweet song apart from Thakur. হঠাৎ ঠাকুরের দিকে দৃষ্টিপাত করিয়া অবাক হইয়া রহিলেন. While he was engrossed, he was intently hearing that song, his eyes fell on that still form of Thakur, and he was wonderstruck. Thakur, just imagine the northern veranda of Sri Ramakrishna's room, Sri Ramakrishna standing still, no motion, absolutely motionless, Narendra singing, and Thakur in totally different world, standing motionless. চোখের পাতা পড়িতেছে না. The eyelids are not blinking. Steady eyes, steady body, the entire figure of Sri Ramakrishna standing still. Even the eyelids are not blinking. নিঃশ্বাস প্রশ্বাস বইছে কি না বইছে. Don't know whether he is exhaling, inhaling, whether he is breathing. There is no breathe, there is no inhalation, there is no exhalation. Absolutely still. No movement at all. Even no movement of the eyelids. জিজ্ঞাসা করাতে একজন ভক্ত বলিলেন, এরো নাম সমাধি. So, as he looks at Thakur, he's speechless, wonderstruck. And then he asks, what is this? Why Thakur is like this? Then a devotee answers, this is known as Samadhi, the superconscious awareness, the ecstasy. This is অবাক হইয়া তিনি ভাবিতেছেন, মাস্টার এরূপ কখনো দেখেন নাই, শোনেন নাই. He had never heard of this thing. He had never seen such thing. This was the first time that Master Sri M encountered someone enjoying the bliss of being in samadhi, in ecstasy. Gone. Like we see in the photograph of Sri Ramakrishna at that Brahmo Samaj that Sri Keshav Chandra Sen had arranged to click. Sri Thakur in samadhi with his nephew Hriday holding him from behind, and as if he will fall any time, because there is no consciousness of the outer world. You are far away. You are just still, motionless, breathless. অবাক হইয়া তিনি ভাবিতেছেন. And M was totally wonderstruck, and he started thinking, ভগবানকে চিন্তা করিয়া মানুষ কি এত বাহ্য জ্ঞান শূন্য হয়? Having thinking about God, can a man be so devoid of external knowledge, external senses, that he can't see anything, he can't hear anything, he can't even breathe, he can't even move, he can't even blink his eyes? Is that the condition that a man can reach, thinking about God, meditating upon God? That is how great must one's love and faith be. না জানি কতদূর বিশ্বাস ভক্তি থাকিলে এরূপ হয়. I don't know to what extent the faith and devotion can bring one's mind attuned to Godhead, that you are totally devoid of knowledge of this world, this external world, of this finite world, of this temporary world. You are totally oblivious. You are far above in different divine realm. And that is Sri M's first experience of Sri Thakur in Samadhi. So, two things must have happened for Thakur getting into this. First of all, at the end of the 7th chapter, we had seen that M had seen that Thakur, he had just gone somewhere. he had gone somewhere. Anya manoshko hoilen. That's the word Sri M had used. That he was oblivious to what Sri M was telling about the way of reasoning explained in English textbooks of logic. And then, when all the devotees dispersed, somebody went this side, somebody went maybe possibly to see the Ganges, went to Panchavati, and when coming back, he just seeing a beautiful scene. The Thakur standing in the northern veranda and Narain singing. We don't know whether Narain's singing also added up to that ecstasy, to getting Thakur into Samadhi. Because till he was in the room, he was oblivious to Sri M's words. But having come out, having all the devotees dispersed, he must have told Narain, Gana. And Narain must have started this song. And listening to Narain's song, Thakur must have actually entered into Samadhi, which was the first experience of Sri M seeing Thakur in Samadhi. What a wonderful sight it must have been on in the northern veranda of Sri Thakur's room. And I don't know if Sri Ma was there that day. Otherwise, our Ma also would have observed Thakur's Samadhi standing there in the northern veranda. And of course, for Ma, it was a routine thing now. For M, it was the first ever sight of Thakur being in Samadhi. So, what Noreen was singing, we will see in our next reading. As of now, Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishnaaya. Shri Ramakrishnaarpanamastu. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai Shamiji. And Jai Shri M also, who is giving us such a nectar like Kathamritam.